Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of buyer beware. That's right, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Grotti X80 Proto. Is it worth it? My thoughts on it. And also, does it break the supercar class? Those are going to be the topics that we're going to be discussing in today's video. I'm sure now that we've got about 24 hours under our belt with this car that we have a little bit of a better idea of if we like it or not. So I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. So let's talk about the X80 Proto. This is definitely the most hyped vehicle of the three unreleased so far. It aesthetically looks the coolest. It obviously had the biggest price tag. So let's start there. It's $2.7 million, which is very expensive. It definitely makes it the most expensive supercar in the game, much more so than the T20, about $500,000, $600,000 more. Obviously more than the Osiris, more than the 900R, way more than the Zentorno. So you really are getting up there, but does that extra price that you are going to be paying really lead to better performance? That's also something we're going to talk about. So just from a straight price standpoint, it's very expensive though. So if you think it's going to cost $2.7 million just to buy the car, you'll probably spend $300,000 souping it up with armor, brakes, engine, transmission, paint jobs. So let's just call it $3 million to fully have this car. That's a lot of money. So I always like comparing the money in game to what you would spend in real life. So if a whale shark card is $50, 50 US dollars, and that's $3.5 million, and to buy and fully customize this X80 Proto is about $3 million, you know, that's about $40 or $45 of your hard-earned money right there alone. If you don't have any Grand Theft Auto Online money, that is, if you wanted to strictly fund this with shark cards. So do keep that in mind. That is a pretty expensive add-on. Obviously, I'll remind you again, and this is pretty obvious, that Grand Theft Auto, the game, was only $60, and this is about $40. So just keep that in mind that it is very expensive. Obviously, that should have been pretty apparent, though. So now let's talk about performance of the car. Now, yesterday, I did a straight line drag test that tested acceleration and top speed, and clearly the X80 Proto is the fastest car in the game, and it also has better acceleration than the other supercars. So to give you guys the too long didn't read version, the X80 Proto has better acceleration and better top speed than the T20, although it has worse traction and braking. At least that's what I have felt. It was definitely not as great around corners. I didn't seem to be able to stop as quickly. That might have been because I was accelerating faster, so you get that kind of feeling of it being worse. But all around, it is a bit quicker than the T20, which is great because it's clearly more expensive, $2.7 million compared to the T20's $2.1 million. So yeah, that is really good right there. Now, I have heard some people say that it has identical braking stats to the T20, but once again, because you are going faster, you'll need a longer stopping distance to fully brake from going from top speed. And also people have said that although it has better traction stats, due to the increased power, it means it's easier to brake grip. So that might be the reason why we're experiencing worse traction and braking on the X80 Proto as compared to some other vehicles like the T20, the Osiris, the 900R, and a bit more. So that's your too long didn't read version. It's the new fastest supercar in the game. Although because of its speed, there is some downsides with braking and traction that may, of course, have an impact in races. And I stated that in previous videos that each car is subjective and that ultimately feel is going to be maybe the best way in which you determine what car you like. The X80 Proto might be for you. It might not be for you. You might be able to handle it really well. You might be better with another supercar like the T20 or the Osiris. And that's actually a great segue into the next topic. A lot of people were talking about how the X80 Proto might break the supercar class. And it turns out that it actually doesn't, which is of huge relief. So because of those things that I mentioned earlier, like traction and braking, the X80 isn't able to fully just blow the other cars out of the water. While it's still the fastest and still has the best acceleration, again, as I mentioned earlier, those traction, braking, and handling stats will have an impact in races. So what that means is if you want to stick with your T20 or want to stick with your 900R, especially in like public races when you're playing with randoms or you're not playing with, you know, professional racers, let's just say, you could easily hold your own in a T20 or an Osiris or a 900R versus the X80 Proto. Now, of course, I'm not a professional racer, so I would want to probably use the best supercar in the game. But that is great to know that if you want to stay with the old supercars, Rockstar isn't really forcing your hand here in order to allow you to compete in supercar races. You'll still be able to stay with the front of the pack, of course, as long as you do have the driving skills to compete with them. So now let's talk about looks, aesthetics, customization, everything about the car visually. The Grotti X80 Proto seriously hits a home run with this. Not only does this car look like it's from another planet, it looks like it's from the future, it has some great customization options as well. There's clearly options for the bumper, for the side skirts, for the spoiler. There are some amazing color options as well. You can change the primary, the secondary, as well as a trim and an accent color. Something we've never seen before, where you can like change the color of the outline of the wheels and the inside of the dash, which is super cool. And even outside of the Los Santos custom shop, the look of the car itself, the way that the suspension coils are actually visible close to the dashboard, that is extremely cool. And just the overall body and look of the car is pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. One of the best and craziest looking cars in the game. So now let's get to the final verdict. The buyer beware. Is the Grotti X80 Proto worth it? Should it get the buyer beware sticker? I'm going to say no if you have the money. Just keep in mind that $2.7 million is a lot of money. You could do a lot with that. So before you put it into one vehicle, think about some of the other things you might want to buy going forward, whether that's maybe a warehouse or an apartment or a new office. So just think about it. It's not going to be getting the buyer beware sticker. It's just going to get a, oh my God, this is $2.7 million sticker. Know what you're buying and think it over before you finally do confirm and spend $2.7 million. But anyways, that's all that I'm going to be talking about in this video today. Hopefully this video gave you some good information on if the Grotti X80 Proto is worth it or not, what it does to the supercar class in general. I think it's a pretty cool car. So definitely, if you guys are enjoying, be sure to leave a like rating as well. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.